How's it going, world? I'm Jasmine, and welcome back to my channel. It's Halloween! And I'm very late. Sorry. I know I haven't had a video out since, oh my god, July. Wow, I'm super behind. I have been for a while, and that's why I was like kind of determined to get something out for Halloween, but I started this like 3 days ago. So I managed to get the doll done. I barely managed to get the video done, and I'm late. I don't think I'm late in the northern hemisphere, but I'm definitely late in the southern hemisphere, so I'll try and get this out in time. I have a million excuses, but none of them are overly justified, so I might just let the video speak for itself this time. I'll let the music go. Have fun. So, if you haven't figured it out yet, I'm doing kind of a little remake of this costume. It's a Love Nikki one, I think it's called Maple Sugar, and it's adorable. And I was just obsessed with the cape ever since I saw it, and I thought, yep, I'm gonna have to make that. So, to those of you who figured it out early, well done. To those of you who didn't, surprise, this is what it is. Also, here's where I started to notice that I was making smudges from the lower area, so I decided to make use of it and actually just intentionally smudge the area, which led to the accident of my the creases between where the folds of my hands are. I don't know how better to describe that. Anyway, it created this really cool effect that almost kind of looked like shadows and trees in the background. You can kind of see it here. And I was just having a bit of fun with it, so I went with it, and it ended up being great. Okay, so I'm not exactly a professional painter. I never was and I never will be, and I don't even technically consider myself a proper artist. But at this point, I was like, I want to get some highlights, but then I realized that I needed to have like a point where the light was coming from, so I made a little moon. And then I was just dabbing around it to try and make it look a bit brighter than the rest of it, and like it's kind of coming off it. I feel like I made it look relatively good, but you know, I'm proud of the end result, so I have no complaints, but I just want it to be known that if you have issues with where the light goes and where it's touching, I just want you to know that, yeah, I'm aware. Sorry. Et voila! This is probably the best shot you'll get of Kate for a while. But onto the dress, I guess. So again, I was just kind of making it up on the spot and trying to work with stretchy fabric to make it a bit easier on me, and I did want this to be removable, so I mostly just kind of winged it. I did also want to have lace on the outside, and it was really hard to figure out how to put it so that it would attach but not completely be attached, you know, because I needed, like I said, I wanted this to be removable, so I glued it at the front on the inside so that it would fold over to be on the outside, and then I stretched it and glued it at one point at the back so that it wouldn't get in the way of the stretch in between, if that makes any sense. So it is completely removable, which is awesome. I cut off any excess, and then I sewed down the middle to try and give it a bit of a sweetheart neckline. Yeah, this was a lot of just back and forth and experimenting and just kind of working with what I had and trying to make it fit no matter what, if that makes any sense. I was determined to get this done, so I just kind of, I allowed a lot of stuff to go here and there. I'm gonna say it right now, I didn't make the gloves, I didn't put little bats on the socks, and I didn't specially make the shoes. I just kind of went with ones that I already had. And I know that seems super lazy, and it is, but like I said, I had 3 days. I did my best, and I'm going to try and have something a lot better for November, and I'm going to try and have at least 2 for December, so hopefully that'll make up for it. Hope you enjoy it. In my endeavour to make this removable, I just used a ribbon instead of an elastic or anything like that, which is completely removable. I sewed it into the on one side, and then the other side it's kind of like a pull cord, so that I can loosen it and tighten it however I need to, and it actually goes on it. And in the end, I actually used that ribbon to go around her waist as well to create that other effect that was around the corset. So it actually works pretty good. The skirt was actually very difficult to make, and I had to do multiple layers as well as make it look a bit like a tutu. So I just grabbed some netting that I had, some stiff netting. I made an underskirt. I cut it super short so you can't see the white. I got the layers and then the overlayer, and then I actually ended up cutting around the tutu to make it shorter and to make it stick out so that the layers were separated. And I was super shocked with how good it actually ended up being. it surprised me. I was like, oh, well, that worked out perfectly. Good job. Good job, everyone. This is where it started to get a little difficult. So in my endeavour to make it removable, I had to somehow add straps without actually letting them be, attached to the dress fully. So I actually tied little bows, got them to the right size, made them smaller in the end because it was the wrong size. And then I actually connected them at the back with a snap fastener so that I could, snap fastener, so that I could take it on and off as I please. And that ended up doing pretty good in the end, but like I said, it was a hell of a process, so it wasn't easy. Now this is a little interesting thing. It's actually a whiteboard marker tape, and I found it at my local Daiso, and I was like, oh, well that'd be great. So yeah, I use that as a little necklace, and yeah, I think it's adorable. Now this cape, in the end I got an old necklace and I moved the balls a bit closer together, glued them onto the chain, and then glued them onto the cape. Now if I'm honest, I didn't expect this to last at all. I was like, these are going to fall off the second I put any weight on this cape. But surprisingly, they've lasted really well. Like, the cape can hang off of it completely, and it hasn't broken yet, and it's removable, so I was pretty chuffed. And I changed my mind about where the snap fastener went because I didn't like it being on the outside, so I put it underneath the orange and forced the fabric around it so that it would stick up out and be detachable. So that was a bit of fun. Now it's just mostly finishing touches. I've made her stockings and put on her shoes, and here she is.